YouTube, what's happening? It's Tuesday, July 23rd. You can see we got a full slate of baseball to talk about today. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't, because yesterday we had a rough day. It happens. We're going to have red. This is baseball. It's the dog days of summer. There's going to be red days that pop up. All that matters is the MLB season goal. So far, we're still up 67 units, so doing great. And it wasn't just me that read. I saw a lot of people were red yesterday. It was a weird day overall. If you were green, congratulations, because you're one of the few that I saw, because Twitter, YouTube, everyone was talking about how red they were. It was just an off day for, I mean, just in general, pretty bad. So it doesn't matter. You're going to have days like that. We don't celebrate the losses. We celebrate the wins. We tolerate the losses. We move on to the next day. And that's what we're going to do here. It's Tuesday. It's a brand new day. That means brand new money, right? That's what I'm talking about. So we have 15 games. Drop a like, subscribe. Let's jump into that first game right now. All right, before we start with the first game, give a quick shout out to Outlier. That's where I give my odds, all my insights, matchups, all this props is what I use. There's a link in the description. You check it out. Get you a free week. Who doesn't love free stuff? I know I do. Check it out. You'll like it. Let's get to this game. Baltimore is a pretty heavy favorite on the road. You can see the total is currently sitting at 8.5. Looking over at the bats, we see 64.2% NRFI based on what they've done this year. That's pretty high. It's Baltimore on the road. That's what you expect. 6.3 and 262 in the last three for third and seventh. However, if you look at the trend line, Baltimore's coming down a little bit. They had a rough game last game, so we want to see if that continues. Miami, 2.7 and 234, but they trend line went up in the last game. So we got two teams going different directions based on one game. We need more than one game to really establish what they're doing. So in strikeouts, middle of the road, not too much. Looking at the pitchers, we have Suarez going out there for Baltimore. You can see the numbers of what he's done. Has not faced Miami recently. Did get roughed up a couple times, but nothing too bad. Tyler is getting called up, going out there for Miami. You can see he's a reliever, but he pitches a good many innings, and he doesn't give up too much. That's what we like to see. So not bad overall. The NRFI is definitely in play. However, he did two of his earned runs in Boston. One of them was in the first inning, so that is a little concerning. So we'll see. But based on these two pitchers, just like this, we're going to dig a little deeper. But so far, I'm liking the NRFI. I'm not liking a side so far because I don't like the trend lines going different directions like that. So let's pop in and do a little closer research. We'll start with Tyler against Baltimore. Obviously, there's no stats. He hasn't pitched too much. Baltimore against righties this year, you get to see how they do. You can see the numbers, how they stand out. Henderson's over 300, the only one on the list over 300. Looking at this, look at some props. It's hard to do props for a reliever because you don't see what they do. He's only been in this many games this year. So, I mean, there you go. You can look at these. I'm not playing none of these, not for a reliever. No shots. And then we'll do Suarez. You can see, Suarez, history, no history either. Miami versus righties, here you go. You can see these numbers here. Nothing is standing out except that the highest one's like 270. That's the highest. That ain't good. So you can see those numbers there. And we'll look at some props. Pitching outs, no, he's starting to trend up. I don't like strikeouts, hits, earned runs. Nothing is really standing out for me. So for this one, we look back at the numbers. The only thing that's really standing out is the bats, but now we're trending down. Miami's trending up. I'm going to play the NRFI in this one. I'm going to go with the statistics. Baltimore tends to struggle on the road when it comes to NRFIs, 85%, as you see. Miami's trending up. Baltimore's trending down. I don't hate the pitching matchup, so we're going to go with the NRFI in this one, nothing else, and move on to the next game. All right, next game, we got Detroit and Cleveland. It's going to be a quick one because Detroit has yet to announce their starter. It is Tuesday morning. Why have you not announced this yet? Come on, guys. Either way, but we have odds, though, somehow. We still have Cleveland as a moderate favorite at home, 8.5 is your total. I'll show everything I can for this game, though. We'll show the stats. Detroit's offense is doing pretty good. 6.3 for third in the majors in the last three, 260 for eighth, and they trended up in the last game. 8 runs and batted 333. So Detroit's doing great. Cleveland is still struggling. 1 running game in their last 3 for 30th, 161 in the last 3 for 30th. But their last game, they did bat 316. And they got 2 runs. Hey, 2's better than 1, right? Do what you can do. And strikeouts are both bottom middle, so nothing really there. So pitchers, we have Curry. That's all we know so far. Curry's going out there. He is a reliever, so that tells you more about this game. This is just a shit show of a game, is it not? So you can see that. So I mean, I can't even show props. I can't show history because nothing. I can't. There's nothing there. They have nothing. So I can't do nothing here. So again, this is the stats. I'll leave this here. That way we can talk a little bit. You can see that I got to pass this entire game because if I don't know who the pitcher is and one side's a reliever, I'm assuming the other side's going to either be a minor leaguer or a reliever or a minor league reliever. So it's going to be something bad. So this game is all around terrible. I'm passing. Next game. All right, next up, we got St. Louis and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a pretty heavy favorite at home, and you know why, because you know who's pitching. 7.5 is your total. The bats, 63.4% NRFI, based on what the teams have done this year. That's all it takes into consideration. St. Louis is trending down. They got 5.3 runs and 280, but you can see in their last game, they went 1 for 212. Trending down is not good, and their strikeouts are going way up. Not good when you're facing Paul Skeens. Pittsburgh, 2 runs a game, 250. They're about average. They're struggling to score runs. That makes the NRFI very enticing. We have St. Louis going down, Pittsburgh neutral, Paul Skeens pitching. However, the only thing I'm skeptical about is Lance Lynn. He is pitching today for St. Louis. And he has been shown he can just blow up. But then he has shown brilliance too. So if I'm taking a NRFI today, I am literally going to sweat the 3 outs for Pittsburgh because of this. I'm not really going to sweat Paul Skeens. I shouldn't. But I think I want to sweat today. I think based on the stats, based on the NRFI, based on the pitchers, I think I'm taking the NRFI today for sure. Now, when it comes to the pitchers, again, look at the stats. You can see he got blown up a couple times. And Paul Skeens, we know what he does. I mean, here you go. Low numbers. That's what you get with them. So looking at the props over here, Skeens, outs is pretty high. Let's look at some matchups first, just to show the matchups. Paul Skeens faced him once. No home runs, lots of zeros, a couple 2 out of 3 batting games. Burleson and Arenado, you can see those. St. Louis hits righties pretty well. They like righties more than lefties. You got a few 300s on here. Paul Skeens ain't your typical righty though, so take that with a grain of salt. Looking at that, outs was up there, but it's super high on the odds when it comes to 17.5. So you really got to go all the way up to, if you want 20.5 or maybe 18.5, maybe. I'm going to go strikeouts because one, they're saying it should be 120. We're getting 105, plus 105 for the number. And he's hit over 7.5 in almost every game but 2. St. Louis is striking out more. I'm going over Skeens 7.5 strikeouts. It's the chalkiest play of the day. Everyone and their mama, every Twitter capper will be selling this play online saying, ooh, buy my package. This is the play to give you. No, we do it free around here. No, sorry. Can't do that. Hits, I'm not doing. Earn runs, no. None of that. So, yeah. Strikeouts and outs could be a play. Come over here. We have Lance Lynn. We'll do his matchup real quick. Bang, bang, bang. You can see they faced him. Taylor's had a home run on him, 17 at bats. Other than that, not bad numbers. Lots of zeros on there. Pittsburgh hits righties about 50-50. Nothing stands out here. A couple hundred. Nothing. No one's. He's the closest to 300. So we can look at some props real quick. Earn runs. Strikeouts was a thought, but then I noticed that Pittsburgh is number 1 in strikeouts in the last 3 games. I can't do that. Sorry. Nah. Hits, walks, and outs. Nothing looks good. So for me, all I'm going to take is the NRFI. We're going to sweat that one. And we're going to take Skeens over 7.5 for the chalkiest play of the day. Next game. Next up, we got a quick one. Padres, Nationals. Washington has yet to announce a starter, and it's Tuesday morning. Again, what are you doing here? Come on. But yet we have odds somehow. Washington is favored. Again, without a pitcher, but whatever. 9.5 your total. Looking at the numbers, 54.4 NRFI. 3 runs while batting 223 for San Diego. They're middle of the road, just mid. Washington, 6 runs, 260, 6 and 8 in the last 3. Washington's bats are doing much better than San Diego, so they have the advantage offensively. Maybe why they're favored, because the pitcher might not even matter for this one. So, but we do have one pitcher on the list, and his name is Randy Vasquez. You can see his game. You can see what he's done. He has not faced Washington recently, but you can see who he has faced. He got blown up by Philly. They bounced back great. You can see the numbers. He's pretty good outside that one game. So I will show what I can show for him. The matchup, Vasquez versus Washington, historically, nothing. And how does San Diego hit righties? Well, here you go. There you can see the numbers. Some high 2s. There's a 364. Yeah. That's the lineup. That's what you get there. Nothing's truly standing out. I can't even swap over to Washington because they even got one yet. So we'll show the props, outs, strikeouts, hits, earned runs, and walks. Nothing stood out here for me. So There you go. You get to see the stats. I'm personally passing on this game, but if they add a pitcher later on, by all means, look at this and make a decision. I'm going to pass all day on this one. Next game. All right, next up, we got New York versus New York. Pretty easy. Subway Series in the middle of the week. Yankees are pretty heavily favored. 9 is your number. Looking at the stats, 47% NRFI based on what they've done. Both teams are trending up. 3.0 runs, 245 average for the Mets, but 6 and 314 their last game. Yankees 4.7 and 287, but 9 and 405 in their last game. So both going up. We like to see that. Looking at the pitchers closer, you can see what they've done. Quintana has not faced the Yankees. Did get blown up by the Rockies. Great games outside of that, so pretty good overall. Gill faced the Mets, got blown up a little bit. 5 earned runs before that. Baltimore blew him up. Pitch great sense, but just in the window we're looking at, I would take Quintana as a slight advantage here recently. So overall, for the whole season, people will say Gill, but I would say Quintana recently. So looking at the props a little closer, we got Quintana. We'll see history. There is a home run for Grisham in 3 at-bats. Not many more at-bats to talk about. The Yankees versus lefties, you can see they're about middle of the road. Nothing's truly standing out. Jones doesn't play much. Judge has a 315 average. Soto 307. You can see the numbers. Look at props. Outs, pretty up and down. Strikeouts, pretty high recently. You're going up against the Yankees, who are not striking out too much here recently, so I will pass on that. Hits, I'm not going to do. Earned runs, no. Then you get Gill. Look at his numbers. You have the outs, strikeouts, hits, earned runs, walks, nothing looks good. And his matchup, make sure I don't miss this. Gill history. Alvarez has 1 home run and 1 at bat, and lots of zeros on here, but not many at bats, as you can see. And we can look at the righties. Mets like lefties better. We all know this by now, but these aren't bad numbers overall. So just they love lefties more. So we see all that. Based on this information, the only thing I'm playing this game is I'm going to see that both teams are trending up, and both pitchers have shown they can give up runs. So I'm going back to the odds. I'm not going to play the Yankees. I don't trust them fully like that. But I am going to play the over of 9 because 9's a fun number. Because 4-4 is my favorite score in baseball because they hit 7.5, it hits 8, it hits 8.5 because you got to score 9 runs if you got 4-4 score. 9's a push. So over 9 is my number in this one. So if I get anything over, if I get 9 and push, I'm cool with that. But hey, anything over, I will take it. So over 9, next game. All right, next up, Tampa Bay and Toronto. We have Toronto as a slight to moderate favorite at home, 8.5 pitches total. Looking at the bats, 50.27% NRFI based on what they've done this year. 5.3 runs and 214 for Tampa, which was 10th and 21st. However, last game they were awful. 1 run, 0.103 average for 25th and 29th. So they're downtrending hard. Toronto, 4 runs, 245 for 15th and 13th. However, they went up 5 runs in 324. So we got 2 teams trending different directions after 1 game. We need more than 1 point to see what they do, but that's a start. So you got to start somewhere. And strikeouts, neither team's striking out too much. They're both in the top half of baseball. So looking at the pitchers, we got old Barrios going out there, 401 with a 118. You can see what he's done. If a dude's fallen off harder than the past 5-6 games, I don't know if I can find him because Barrios has fallen off pretty hard because I just saw this chart over here on his earned runs. I was like, wow, look at a beast. This is this season, all of his games. And also he just started dude is falling off. So that ain't good. And he's going up against Sean Armstrong, who is a reliever. So Tampa's doing a bullpen game. He's going to pitch 1 inning because that's exactly what he does. He will not go more. And his only prop is strikeouts. So that's not much to do, not much to work with. So let's start with him. Here's his strikeout prop. It is plus 190 at 1.5. If you think he's going to strike out 2 out of 3, enjoy, because I can't do that. So who even has this line? Bad GM Caesars. Can I go? What's the under? 250. Ooh, okay. That's crazy. So, I mean, enjoy. Have fun. So, because he's going to go 1 inning. That's what he does. So, let's go to Barrios. Oh, wait a minute. Can we do a matchup? We can at least see history against. We got this. Bam. Armstrong history. There we go. Even though it's 1 inning, we still got it. We can see what they've done. A lot of green on this list. There's a lot of green. They like hitting this dude. That ain't good. Okay. And how does Tampa hit righties? They hit righties better than lefties. You can see 300s on the board. There's 296. So let's look some props. Well, there's only 1. We saw that already. Barrios, let's do the matchup for him. History against Barrios, we got a couple home runs. He's got one. Diaz has one. He has one. You can see the averages up and down. Rays versus righties, you could see the numbers on there. They like to hit lefties better if you can't tell because the number's right there. Yeah. And let's look at some props. Hits. Let's go to the last 10. He's been giving us some hits. 5.5 is the number of strikeouts. Earned runs. That earned runs is tempting. I'm telling you right now, it's tempting. But Tampa Bay is struggling offensively. Remember, they're going downhill. I hate betting teams going down. So earned runs is the thing. Walk and pitching outs. And he's trending down in pitching outs. I lean Tampa Bay to get some runs off him, but I don't want to trust a downtrend. I just can't do it. So for me personally, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to pass on everything in this game. I don't trust the NRFI. No, I don't. Not a believer. I don't trust the side because I just don't trust Barrios to keep Toronto in it. And I don't trust the total. I don't trust the prop. So yeah, pass the entire game. Next game. All right, next up, another quick one. Reds and Braves, because the Reds have not announced their pitcher. Fourth team that has not announced a pitcher. It's crazy. We have Atlanta as a massive favorite. It's because Chris Sale's pitching, let's be honest. And the total 7.5. Look at the bats. 43.7 NRFI based on what they've done this year. 3.3 and 212 for Cincy. That's 17th and 22nd. They did trend slightly up with 4 runs and 265. Atlanta 2.7 for 22nd, 216 for 20th. Already bottom 10, and they trended down in their last game. 1 run and batting 103. Atlanta is struggling hard. 9 versus 8.7. Neither team, they're both middle of the road in strikeouts. So we'll show the one thing we can show. The one pitcher is Chris Sale. Do you even need another pitcher really? Because Chris Sale's is the beast, 270 with a .95 whip. Like, come on. You can see the numbers, what he does. Last 7 games, dude's been absolutely stellar, as you would expect. Double-digit strikeouts, a few 9 strikeout games, and 8 of 7. 4 was low against San Diego, but it was San Diego. Trusting pitchers against strikeouts against San Diego is insane. They're one of the top teams of strikeouts. Don't do it. So today, let's look at the props. Let's do the matchups real quick too. See if we can do it. Sale against Cincy history. We have no home runs and no RBIs and a bunch of zeros and a bunch of red. So Sale might have a day. He might shove out there today. Cincy versus lefties. There's about middle, 50-50. middle. What am I saying? 300 for these two. And you can see Ellie. You can see the numbers. Let's look at the props. Strikeouts. You can see what he does. And this should be 154. You can get 115 at FanDuel right now. That's a crazy number. Looking at the hits. Let's look at the last 10. 4. Why is that? Okay. Earned runs. 1.5. I can't. Oh, I can't. That's just too low. I don't care who you are. 1.5 is a crazy number for earned runs. I need at least 2.5 for everyone. So, no. On walks, he's been walking more recently. Is this a whole trend for the season? Yeah, here recently he's been walking more. He went great for a while, so he might have been tired. You know, the break happened. Maybe he's better now. So for me, 7.5 for strikeouts. You're facing Cincy, who strikes out 9 a game for 18th. I have no clue how long he's going to pitch. Ooh. And since he's trending up, I'm going to pass, to be honest. I don't like this. I can't do a side or a total because I don't know the Cincy pitcher. I can't do a nerf because I don't know their pitcher. And I don't really like that 7.5 prop. No, I'm going to pass on it. We're going to move on to the next game. All right, we got a fun one. We got Philly and Minnesota. Philly is a moderate favorite on the road. 8 is your total, looking at the odds. The numbers, the stats, whatever. 41.5 NRFI based on what they've done this year. 3 runs a game for 18th while batting 190 for 23rd for Philly. Even worse than the last game. 2 runs a game, 129. They're downtrending, not good. Minnesota, on the other hand, is uptrending. 6 runs a game in their last 3 for 6. They got 7 runs in their last game. 243 in their last 3 for 15th, but they've added 333 in their last game. They're trending up. Minnesota's getting hot again. You know what happens when Minnesota gets hot? They get like scorching hot, like 10 runs a game hot. So they're striking out more than usual. Philly's not striking out much at all, so you can see the numbers there. Looking at the pitchers, we got Simeon Woods Richardson going out there, who this dude is just good. He's a good pitcher. That's, like, he's not amazing. He's not bad. He doesn't have bad games. He gives up very low hits because the dude loves him some ground balls. Outside of this 1 7-hit game against San Fran, this dude has been cashing under hits allowed tickets all year for me. Beautiful. Love this dude. Wheeler going out there on his end. You can see outside of his one game against Baltimore, dude's been pretty good. They haven't faced, he hasn't faced Minnesota, and he has not faced Philly, so that's not a thing for either of these recently. So you can see the numbers. Looking over at the props, we're going to start with Wheeler first. Wheeler, history against Minnesota. No home runs, very few at-bats. Minnesota versus righties, they hit lefties way better than righties, so this is concerning for a Minnesota money line. That's why they're an underdog. I was leaning Minnesota hard until I saw this. So, and looking at the props, Wheeler strikeouts is at 6.5. Minnesota is striking out more, so that might be something you might want to take. Hits 4.5. I don't know. I can't do it with them. Earned runs, walks. He is walking a ton. He's been doing that all year. Yeah, kind of has. So Wheeler walks and pitching outs. Yeah, I can't do those. So I don't like his props. Now, Wood Richardson, you can see his, hasn't faced Philly. Anybody on Philly ever. Philly versus righties, they like lefties more. So if anything, I'm leaning the under, to be honest. The way these pitchers teams are going. Look at the stats. Under 4.5 has been my bread and butter for Simeon over here. See, the dude's been cashing outside of 2 games. It is Philly, but Philly is struggling hard to hit the ball. So I'm tempted, and it's a home game, so I think I'm gonna go with it. Simeon Richardson under 4 point. It seems like a craze at only 4.5. It's been doing all year. So outside of San Fran and Pittsburgh, been great. So I mean, he started off rough, but then something happened. He settled down. So and it's plus money. What is the outline for 5.5? Just want to see. Under 5 is 120. Okay, so. But that's underdog. It's not a real line. So yeah, we'll keep it under 4.5 or plus 123. Why not? We'll go for it. I love it. So outside of that, the bats are better for Minnesota. I want to take Minnesota money line, but now after seeing that, I'm going to lay off that. The under was a thing. It says 8. If it was a little different, I might rock with it, but Minnesota is warming up. That does concern me. So for me personally, all I'm going to take is Simeon Woods Richardson under 4.5 hits allowed. We're going to ride that train and go to the next game. All right, next up we got Milwaukee and Chicago. It's basically a pick 'em with an 8.5 total. Looking at the batting, 57.7 NRFI based on what they've done this year. 5.7 for 241 for Milwaukee, but in the last game yesterday, 1 run and 156. Terrible. So they're downtrending hard. Chicago, 1.7 for 28, 170 for 28. Terrible, but they trended up last game. 3 runs while batting 258. Still not that great, but hey, better than what they were. So to me, both teams are that's not great when it comes to offense, especially after Milwaukee's last game, if that trend continues. Looking at the pitchers, we got Jameson going out here. You can see what he's done recently. They faced each other, same pitchers, on June 28th. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, and 5 Ks. That's what he did. You can see with Jameson, he is consistent. That's what you get. You're going to get right around a couple runs a game. You know what you get out of him. Colin Ray, same time, same game, 5-1. 1 home run, 2 earned, 8 Ks. Better game overall. He is more up and down. He's not as consistent because you can get a gem like this and blow it up like that. So he's up and down. So it depends what you want. You want to risk more with him, or you want the more certainty with him. That's what you get. So looking at the props, Jameson here versus Milwaukee history. You can see there's been a good bit of bats. A couple home runs for Yelich on 26 at bats. 1 home run for him. 1 here. You can see the averages. You can see, what stands out, what doesn't. Milwaukee versus righties. They're about 50-50. Some stand out, some don't. Looking at the props for Italian, you could see walks, strikeouts, hits, earned runs, and pitching outs. That's a close number. Ugh, I don't know. I'm not liking any of these props. Let's look at Ray, his history. You can see there's been 1 home run for Suzuki. Outside of that, there's a lot of red. There's a couple greens. Not much data, really. Cubs versus righties, they're about 50-50 as well. This is a very even game, to be honest. A lot of these things are even. Nothing's really standing out so far. Look at some props. Pitching outs, again, pretty close. Strikeouts, hits, earned runs, and walks. Yeah, see, nothing is standing out in this game. I don't, when you, yeah, we got one team trending down, one team trending out. That kind of balances out for me. I don't like the NRFI because the pitcher's been Ray's prone to get blown up. They've already faced these exact batters 3 weeks ago. Both pitchers have, so the batter should have a slight advantage. They've already seen the pitchers, so I don't really want to do with that. I can't trust it over under because you can see the offenses. They're not really over under worthy. I need two good offenses or two bad offenses. This is middle of the road. So for me, I'm going to pass on this game completely and just move on to the next one. All right, next up, we got a kind of a weird one. We got the White Sox and the Rangers. Texas is slightly favored with a 7.5 total. Number 60.82 NRFI based on what they've done this year. The offenses you can see are terrible. 1.7 and 3.7. 173, 188, and they both got slightly bumped last game. Nothing stands out. Chicago, awful in strikeouts. Texas, middle of the road. Pitchers, John Gray is going out there. You can see he came in for one inning of relief work on Friday. I don't get why he did this. This is weird to me. I don't understand this move. And I can't figure out why he did it. Nothing's out there saying why. It was Friday. It was the first day back. I don't know. It's weird. It was the ninth inning. So, and then before that, you can see what he does. He's been rocked a couple times. Are they planning on moving to the bullpen? I don't know what they're doing with him. Crochet, on the other hand, he has some weird stuff. He did all-star game. And then 2 and 4 innings because I think they're trying to protect him because I think this is his last game in a White Sox uniform. Just saying it. Just my thoughts. I think he gets moved for something. So you can see the stats here. Pretty good overall. So this is a weird game to me. So I don't know how long John Gray is going to pitch because we don't know what's going on with this. We don't know how long Crochet might get traded today. Who knows? So weird things could happen. So yeah, let's look at some props. I mean, Crochet history. You can see there's a little bit, but not much. And we see Texas likes to hit some lefties. You can see the stats here. A lot of green, more green than red. And for the props, we only have 2. We have outs and strikeouts. Even the odds makers know something's up. Something weird. Outs are usually good, and then they drop off. Some people think, oh, it's the All-Star break to make sure he gets his work in. You can think that, but I think they're trying to protect their asset. They don't want him to get hurt before they trade him. So, and strikeouts is at 6.5. No shot I'm taking this. He could easily do it, but I'm not taking it. Gray, on the other hand, you can see his history, no home runs against Chicago. In Chicago, I mean, there's not that great batting period, but they prefer lefties. So you can see those stats there. His strikeouts has been terrible. 4.5. He hasn't hit that since May 10th. Hits has gone up. Earned runs have gone up. And walks and outs. So this is a weird one. I don't know what to take. I don't know which size I'm going to take. I don't know what total to take. I'm going to take the NRFI. I think they both are good enough for one inning. So outside of that, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. So I'm taking the NRFI in this one. We're going to hope for no runs because we're going to say these offenses are terrible, these pitchers are good, and hope that works out and move on to the next game. All right, next up, we got Arizona and KC. Arizona's a slight favorite on the road with a total of 9.5. Looking at the bats, I wonder why, because you can see the numbers. KC's offense is number 1 in multiple categories. 6.7 runs, 333 average. They still got bumped up from yesterday's game, and 7.3 strikeouts is 5th. Meanwhile, Arizona is struggling, 22nd and 2.7, 29th in average at 163. You got to hit the ball to be able to score. You can't just walk all your runs in, and 9.3 for strikeouts. So KC has a massive advantage when it comes to offense right now. Now for pitching, KC's sending out Alec Marsh. You can see what he's done. I mean, he also had a 1 inning. I don't know why they're doing this. I never understand what some of these managers do to get paid so much that they make. So he got roughed up here. He got roughed up here. You can see, but then he pitches gems. So it's weird to me. So Montgomery's going out there for Arizona. He got roughed up in a couple games, in 3 games. You can see all the games here. Just hasn't been good. This is why the total is 9.5. We have 2 pitchers that give up runs, including one team that's massively hot on offense in Arizona who's trending up. So far, just looking at this alone, I want to take the over of 9.5. Just got to throw it out there because Casey might hit the damn selves. So what's that? Yeah, it is 9.5 at -108. We'll look at some props just to dig deeper. Montgomery, history, no home runs. You can see the averages. Renfroe is a 333 over 21 at bats. Casey against lefties, they like them some lefties. Lots of green on the board. So you can see that. Look at some props. Strikeouts, can't do that. Hits allowed. Yeah, I could do that too. Earned runs, walks. Over 5.5 hits allowed. He hit 10 last time. Oh, 10 multiple times. I think against Casey's #1 offense. Yeah, let me go ahead and Jay Montgomery over 5.5 hits allowed. Got to add that one. Let's go to Marsh and see what he does. History, only 5 at-bats against Suarez, nothing there. Arizona versus righties, they prefer lefties, you can see, but hey, the number's still in the 200s. Nothing's too bad out there. Earned runs against Marsh. You can see he gives up at least 2.5 a game, which is why the over is going to be in play. Strikeouts, hits, not as much. He doesn't give up as many hits. 5.5, no. Walks, he does walk with those. The dudes get walked. And outs. Okay, so I've seen what I need to see. Looking at the bats, I'm going to take 2 things. I'm going to take Jordan Montgomery to give up 5.5 hits. Over 5.5 hits allowed. I'm also going to take the over 9.5. And I even kind of want to dabble in Casey Moneyline. I kind of feel like having 3 plays. I've skipped a lot on games today. It's been a weird day. So I think this one, I'm going to have a 3 play. I don't normally have 3 on one game, but I think I will for this one. I'm going to go over 9.5 on the total. Casey Moneyline and Jordan Montgomery over 5.5 hits allowed, and we'll move on to the next game. All right, we got another fun one. We got Boston and Colorado. You can see the stats. Boston's moderately favored. 11 is the total. This is why the offenses are both hot. #1 in runs for Boston, last 3 at 6.7, 264 average. Colorado, 5 runs a game for 12, 250 for 10th. I mean, that leads to 11 out right there. 30th for strikeouts, 22nd for strikeouts. So both, Boston's striking out a ton, hence the 4-game losing streak probably. Let's look at some pitchers. Cooper Criswell's going out there. Dude gives up runs. That's what he does. He got a 777 down here. We got 9 and 5 up here. We got 4-1. Yeah, that's what he does. Black's going out there for Colorado. He is, you can see he's technically a starter, but dude has not really been starting too much. So you can see the numbers. He's more of a reliever, if anything. So you can see the numbers. Ooh, 11. Let's look at the props a little closer. Let's do some matchup stuff. History. They have the Boston's faces dude a total of 7 times, and they're 5 for 7, including a home run for O'Neill. So this might be a fun game. Boston might break out a little bit more on the offense this one. And Boston they look like they like lefties more. We got some 300s out there. We got some numbers. We can see those. And let's look at the hits. His number is 6.5 right now. I don't know. Is he going to make it enough innings to go 6.5? That's the question. We don't know how many innings he's actually going to pitch. He's listed as a starter. Is he actually going to go more than an inning? That's the question. So I can't really play his plays. Criswell, let's look at him. Boston, Colorado, Black. Nope. Well, there we go. They've never faced Criswell. Colorado versus righties. They're about 50-50 either way. We don't have any 300s out here. It looks like nothing's really standing out. Boston has the advantage in offense if you can't tell. Let's look at the props. Hits, strikeouts, earned runs, walks, and pitching outs. Nothing stands out here. So for me in this one, first off, I'm taking Boston money line. Just right there. Boston money line will be a play today. I think they break their streak against Colorado. I think they break out. It was 8-9 yesterday. And with these 2 offenses and these 2 pitchers, and Colorado looks like they're doing like a bullpen type game. Weird thing. I don't know. It's weird. I think it sounds crazy. Ooh, it sounds crazy, but I think I'm taking over 11. Oh, these Coors Field totals are, I swear. Because it's either going to hit like 17 runs or it's going to hit 3 runs. It's going to be one of those 2 numbers. It's not going to be right there at 11. You'll know by like the 6th inning if you hit it or not, because you're either going to have it or not. Oh, the fun we're having this. So we're doing that. Boston money line over 11 and move on to the next game. All right, next up we got Houston and Oakland. We have Houston as a slight favorite, 8.5 pitcher total. Looking at that number, 61.4% NRFI based on what they've done. There's a lot of Oakland logos on this page because Oakland's bats are still on fire. 2.7 for Houston, 240 average, 22nd and 17th. Last game, nothing on the runs for 30th, 250 average for 16th. Oakland, 5.7 runs in the last 3 for 8th. They got 4 runs yesterday, 384 average for 3rd, 258 yesterday. So the bats are they're trending down a little bit, but they're still way better than Houston. Houston's buried their line. And Houston's striking out a ton. Oakland's #1 in strikeouts. What the hell is going on this week? What? The Oakland Athletics are #1 in strikeouts in the year of 2024. What is going on? I don't know. Anyways, let's look at some pictures. Let's see. Oh, wrong screen. We want Houston sitting out Jake Bloss. He has 2 total games where he's given up 2 runs each. Interesting. That gives us no information. So that was, yeah. And Oakland sitting out Osvaldo Bido. That is a name right there for you. You can see what he has done. It's a bullpen game, so I am expecting some runs to score in this game on both sides. So even though Houston has been struggling, I think they get them a couple runs. The total is 8.5. So let me just go ahead and over 8.5. You know what? No, I'm not doing that. Let's look a little deeper first. Let's be smart. Let's be smart. Osvaldo has been pretty good. Look at his stats. These are good stats. Duke and ball. That's good. So let's look a little deeper. Osvaldo matchup has a Houston space over 2 for Cabbage. Houston versus righties. They like lefties more. You can see no one. Altuve's at 300. No one else is over 300. Let's look at the props. There's only one because he's a reliever. His strikeouts at 3.5. Whew. How many innings do you think he's going to pitch? Pass. Bloss is going out there for Houston. Let's do the matchup. Houston. Bam. Bam. Never faced Bloss. Interesting. Oakland against righties. Oakland likes righties more than lefties, so that's interesting for Oakland. Got some high numbers here, and we already saw Oakland's offense is pretty hot still, so there's only been 2 games this year, so it's really hard to get props. Let's be honest. It's super hard. So based on this alone, based on the fact that Bido is a reliever, Bloss is a starter who doesn't go that many innings at all, I'm doing this. We're going to odds. We're going to game lines. Nope. We're going to team props. Oakland runs, team total. We come down and see over 3.5. I can get it for $1.25. That's what I'm going with. I think Oakland can get 4 runs in this game. I feel good about that. Do I want to take Oakland on the money line? No, I lean it. Let's see. What are the actual odds? It's 116 for Oakland. I don't trust Oakland's bullpen. They scare me. So I'm just going to say Oakland get 4 runs and I'm happy. That's all I need. We'll take that, skip everything else, next game. All right, next up, LA and Seattle. We have Seattle's a pretty heavy favorite. 7 is the total. That's a low total. Looking at the bat, 61.1% NRFI based on what they've done. 4.3 versus 3 in the last 3 games for 14th and 18th, both middle of the road. Both downtrended last game, 3-1. 248 average for LA in the last 3 for 12th. They downtrended to 133 for 26. Seattle was batting 176. They downtrended even more to 129. So 2 offenses are downtrending hard. 7.3 and 10.3. Seattle always strikes out a ton. Looking at the pitchers, Logan Gilbert's going out there for Seattle. You can see what he does. Dude's pretty decent overall. Can't complain. Good numbers. Faced the Angels last time. 7 innings, 2 hits, gem against the Angels. That's what you got. That's what he's doing again probably. He's probably going to pitch a great game. Soriano, on the other hand, faced Seattle, went 5 hits, 5K, 6 innings. That's a pretty good game too. Can't complain. So outside of that, the 2 faced each other. It was a 2-1 final. Hence why the total is 7. That makes sense. Let's look closer at the props. Let's do the matchup. Gilbert History. Hoppy, however you say that. He's got 2 home runs and 6 at-bats against him. Nito's got 1 home run. Ward's got 1 in 17. You can see how they do. LA versus righties. They like them some righties. They hate lefties. So you can see the numbers here. Nothing's truly standing out. He's the best one on the list. Let's look at some stats. Walks, strikeouts. He did strike out 9 in his last game against LA. So that's something we could look at. 6.5 is kind of high though. I'll pass. Hits, earned runs, and pitching outs. You come down. That's high. 18.5. That's a high number. I don't think I can do that. So Soriano, on the other hand, we can look at his matchup. Historically, I want Soriano, bang, bang, bang. No home runs. You can see the averages in the at-bats. Not much data. Seattle versus righties. You can see what happens. Raleigh does like hitting some home runs off righties. Does he not? Because he's at 20 now. So you can see what they've done this year. Looking at the props. Walks, strikeouts, hits. And he does give up some hits. That's a thing. And Seattle's offense is downtrending. I'm not going to take that. Earned runs and pitching outs. The thing about Soriano, there has been rumors going out there that this is his last game as an Angel. There's a good chance he gets traded. So, because Angels are selling right now. So, this is a time where the trade pieces become valuable. So, with that being said, and looking at all the stats and everything, I think in this one, I'm going to take the NRFI. The stats have been good this year. Both offenses are downtrending, which is what I like to see. And both pitchers, we know Logan Gilbert's good. And I think Soriano's pretty good too. They had a 2-1 game last time. Last time they faced last week. Saturday. They faced each other on Saturday. They're going again against each other. So I'm going to take the NRFI in this one. I'm not going to take the under. 7 such a low number. I can't do it. So NRFI, move on to the next game. All right, last game, we got the Giants and the Dodgers. The Doyas are favored, -140. 8.5 is your total. Looking at the number, 47.7% NRFI, 2.7 runs a game for San Fran. They dropped a 2 guys yesterday, 179 average. They got 161 yesterday. They are struggling to hit the ball. Dodgers, different story. 6.3 runs per third. They got 3 runs yesterday for 15th. 275 average in their last 3 for 5th in the majors. And they batted 207 yesterday. So they downtrended. San Fran's still staying down. So yeah, so over's not in play. I'll tell you right now. So look at the stats and strikeouts. Nothing really different there. The pitchers, Knack is going out there. Couple rough-ish games, but then before that, a couple great games. So you can see what he's done. He faced San Fran, 4.2, 5-1, 7 strikeouts. Great game against them. Face them today. Hicks is going out there for San Fran. Has not faced the Dodgers recently, but he's been getting, giving up some good bit of runs to teams. So that right there makes me lean the Dodgers. They already got the advantage in the offense, and I would give Knack the advantage in the offense slightly on the pitching. So props. Let's look at Knack a little closer. Knack against San Fran. History. We have 1 home run from Matos. And then we got some greens on the stats. San Fran versus righties. They love them some lefties. Righties are there, but you can see Wade's just under 300. Outside of that, just under 300, but nothing too bad. Looking at the props, hits, strikeouts, earned runs, walks. Nothing looks good on the props. Let's go to Hicks now. Look at his matchup. Hicks, bang, bang, Hicks. There we go. Hayward's got a home run and 6 at-bats. Nothing for Ohtani. So you can see the stats here. How do Dodgers hit righties? They're about middle, 50-50. You got 321 for Ohtani, 321 for Freddie. You can see the stats there. Nothing really stands out. Hits allowed stands out to me. Dude has been getting hit hard recently. Gave up 7 the one time they faced him. 2024, he's gone up in hits. He's trending higher throughout the season. So that's a play probably. Strikeouts. 3.5. Oof, why is it so low? How was LA doing on strikeouts? 7.7. I'm gonna pass on that. Earned runs has been high too. Walks and pitching outs. I think I'm gonna take this over 4.5 hits allowed though. I'm gonna take that for sure. Because I think LA, since they're batting better than San Fran, I think they can get to them a little bit. So we'll take that. Looking at these numbers also, I have only taken 3 money lines. I want to take one more, and I think I'm going to take LA. I think, like I said, I think Knack's better than Hicks slightly. And I think the Dodgers offense, well, the stats say the Dodgers offense is better, so they get the lean there. So that would be Hicks over 4.5 hits allowed and Dodgers money line. That's it. All right, that's it. That's the full recap of all the games broken down one by one. Lots of passes today. This is a weird day. I know it's Dinger Tuesday and whatever, but I got NRFIs out there. I think it's NRFI Tuesday. That's what everyone assumes Tuesday is a home run day. I don't think it is anymore. I don't think so. So drop a like, share, subscribe, leave a comment of what you're taking today. I love seeing what everyone's taking. I love the suggestions. I like seeing it. I like interacting as much as I can, answering stuff, talking, thoughts, opinions. If we disagree, let me know because I like to go back and forth. If you're right, I will give you props. That happened yesterday. The Tampa Bay game, someone on here broke it down and they were 100% right. And I was like, yeah, awesome. You got that right. So hey, sometimes the stats don't work out. That's what happens. That's betting. That's what you do. So let's do the recap. We got Baltimore and Miami. We're going to rock with the NRFI. Detroit and Cleveland, we're going to pass completely. Missing a pitcher, can't do it. St. Louis and Pitt, we're going with the NRFI. With Paul Skeens, of course. But Lance Lynn's going to make this a pure sweat. I mean, I'm going to be down the face with the NRFI in this one. San Diego, Washington, we're passing. Subway Series, Mets, Yankees. We're going to go over of 9 in this one. Tampa and Toronto, pass. Cincy, Atlanta. We don't know who Cincy's pitcher is. Pass. Philly, Minnesota. We're going to go Simeon Woods Richardson under 4.5 hits allowed. It's been paying off great this year. Let's see if the trend continues. Milwaukee, Chicago. Pass. White Sox in Texas. A weird game. I mean, if you saw the breakdown, you see why it's weird. We're going to take the NRFI. That's all I can take in that one. Arizona, KC. I'm taking 3 plays in this game. I'm taking the over of 9.5. We're going to take Jordan Montgomery over 5.5 hits allowed. And I'm going to take Kansas City money line. Why not? Boston, Colorado. I'm taking the Boston money line, and I'm taking over of 11. Yes, I know 11 is a very high number, but I'm going to take it. Houston and Oakland. All we're taking is Oakland team total 3.5. We're going over that. I don't trust the bullpen at all for Oakland. I don't know who they're going to trade. They're going to do something. It's weird. I don't want to touch the pitching. So we're going to take the bats to keep doing what they do, and that is score runs, and they're good at it. So LA and Seattle, we're going to go with the NRFI. Again, weird. LA might trade their pitcher. Very possible. And San Fran and the Dodgers, I'm going Hicks over 4.5 hits allowed, plus the Dodgers money line. So that gives you all the straight bets. Now we want to build the actual money line parlay, which is going to be Kansas City, Boston, Oakland. Yeah, I'm throwing Oakland in there. I'm a little scared, but I'm going to do it. And the Dodgers. If you're scared, take Oakland out. But I trust the Oakland Athletic bats, and they have been great to me. It's the pitching that's been rough. So I want to sweat today. So I did not even go over any home runs. Nothing stood out. I didn't pick a single person for that. So I know it's Dinger Tuesday, but I have none. So you give me some dingers, and I'll try to build something out of what you give me. How about that? That's a fair trade. I give you recap, you give me dingers. That's a good trade. So outside of that, check out Outlier. You can see all the cool stuff we have here. There's a link in the description. Check it out. You get a free week. It's awesome. You'll love that. So outside of that, drop a like, share, subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.